when we hit hard times, unfortunately, the vulnerable and marginalised become more vulnerable and marginalised. And as you know me, I'm really passionate about talking about mental health. And unfortunately, women and young people have been most affected negatively by the pandemic worldwide when it comes to their mental health and well-being because of financial reasons, different emotional difficulties, but also there's a whole spectrum of problems that I feel like the pandemic's really brought out. So it's so important that we make more of an effort. People say, oh, you always talk about women's well-being, but because women have so many different facets of life going on, there are so many things to juggle. People say, oh, it's excuses. But no, often you have to think about somebody's journey, even sometimes in a day, what it took them to be there that day, what they've had to sort out to get to that point in the day. I know I can only take day by day, hour by hour. I can't even tell people what I'm up to in one day because there's a long list of things. But also when it comes to working from home, that's great, remote working, but then women can be more isolated and shut out of career opportunities. But also when it comes to young people, can you imagine teenagers and already their mental health and going through puberty and all those other challenges? When we really reflect on hard times, young people and their mental health can be really challenged in life anyway. But then when it's hard, challenging times, then it becomes even harder. And that's where we have to really address this issue with young people and their mental health, because anyone who's tried to access services for young people will know how hard it is as carers, as people trying to get access to mental health services that just aren't there, or they're on their knees in a worst case scenario situation. But more than ever, we need to campaign to our governments, those in power, that better mental health care is needed for all communities, whatever they face. But I know when you're already from a marginalised community, you'll face further marginalisation due to things like the pandemic, because then those who are already struggling get shut out even more. Those who have already got lots of stuff on their plate become burdened with even more, or suddenly lose jobs or work or life. So it's so important that we come together to campaign for one another, to have a voice, to share our stories, but also just to really make sure that if we can be a friend, a comrade to that person next to us, we really are, and we're there to support them and show them that they are worthy, and to try and help this kind of crisis at the moment when it comes to our mental health. We shouldn't be getting into this whole, or wait until it's the worst case scenario situation. That's just simply not good enough. So I'd love to know your thoughts on what you think will work and help, because I know charities, churches as well are doing what they can to pick up, but they should be an add-on, an additional, not an alternative to us providing welfare and care for all. So I'd really love to know your thoughts. Do comment below. Send you all so much peace, love and sparkles. Remember, never let anyone dull your sparkle. So no matter what's happening in life, we can always sparkle. We're like a sparkle full of light and shade.